yeah, we're excited to meet anyone. Basically, even Genji, we would like to play against them again because it's really insane if you play the best players in the world and the best team. You just learn so much from the games itself.
Today was the second day of the LEC Week 3 Summer Split, and I am in the presence of Nightshare after, unfortunately, a loss against G2. Undefeated no more. It was bound to happen at some point, unfortunately, and I guess it had to be at the hands of G2, your old rivals. So, Nightshare, how are you feeling today after this loss against their team?
Honestly, I feel okay. I don't feel like I feel indifferent. Honestly, I was kind of expecting that we will maybe play a bit worse than we used to because of our practice. So I guess the expectation just came through.
Up to this match, though, you were undefeated, and this is a feat that is not to be scoffed at. I think a lot of people, especially like after MSI, did not expect Fnatic to be coming in this strong because obviously the tournament didn't end very well. We heard you talk about it a lot on Euphoria a lot already, but how are you feeling about like the team's improvement recently and like going into the playoffs as well soon? Do you think that Fnatic has what it takes to actually like make a large impact on the playoffs and maybe even win the split?
Well, it all depends, right? If the meta suits us and if we actually keep up the practice level and we kind of spike at the right time, I think we will have a huge impact on the playoffs. Yeah.
I think in the last split, as well as MSI, we saw that like players like Noah were having a lot of issues, notably because of stress, I believe, during MSI. So how has it been like working with him, going back to Europe after the tournament, and like making sure that he gets back on his peak level as well for the LEC and be able to rival with other bot lanes?
I think Noah is a really good player, right? So then in LEC, he will always be among the top threes, or like he will be really, like really good. It all like depends on how he feels, honestly, facing the opponent. If he put too much stress on to himself, if we play G2 or we play someone who he respects, right, or international, then he's a bit more stressed, and we can see that in his performance. But outside of that, I don't think he has any issues in LEC.
That aside, I mean, we've seen the rise of teams like SK Gaming in particular, which has been very much leveling up, I guess, this split compared to the past. And I mean, BDS is still there as well. They are often saying that they want to try and win the split, but obviously you and G2 are still in the way. So I would like to ask of you as well, like, what do you think of the rest of the LEC right now, and like, how would you rate like the teams, I guess? Like, do you still think that G2 and Fnatic are like the clear top two? Do you think teams like SK and BDS have a chance of like contesting you guys as well?
I think it's Fnatic, G2, and then I guess BDS. Those are the top three teams, and then outside of that, I think SK is kind of contesting to be among these names, right? Maybe they're just a bit behind from my point of view, right? But they play really good on stage. So if they continue playing really good on stage, even in playoffs, then they are for sure, right? Named to be called out there. But outside of that, I think the rest of the competition is struggling right now. So
Speaking of this, next week you will be facing Team Heretics and BDS. I think most likely we'll talk more about BDS, but like, how are you feeling ahead of these matchups as well? Do you think that BDS could be a difficult match, or are you really confident that you're just going to take it?
I think BS will be a difficult opponent for sure. We will have to prepare against them specifically, both in drafts and strategies, right? Because they like to swap, they like to be very active on macro side. So if you're really not like expecting it and you know what to do, it can kind of catch you off guard. And Heretics, I don't really know, right? Because they just seem to struggle. But I think they are not a team to. I think I would actually say Heretics are one of the better teams, and they are not to be, underestimated.
As we already mentioned, MSI was a bit difficult for you guys, and you've already talked about it on Euphoria again. But we've heard like from Razork as well, like that post MSI video where he was like talking to his teammates and trying to reason with them, I guess, like, because obviously there's some stuff that didn't go as you expected during the tournament. So I would like to ask as well, like, did you see MSI as like a wake-up call for you guys, and do you think like it has helped you to motivate yourself to come back to the LEC now and be stronger? And do you think it's gonna help you even like to win the split?
I think it was a wake-up call mainly for players because we've been actually many times addressing the issue of our consistency both in scrims and in officials. Honestly, it just helped us. It was like the final push for them to actually, oh yeah, this is really an issue and we have to do everything in our power and we have to put it on like priority number one to actually fix it, else this will repeat, right? So we've been mainly working on that, I'd say, in this split. Yeah.
I think a thing that is very important, but also specific to Fnatic and G2, is that you will be soon traveling for the EWC and you will be facing teams from across the world. One against, you're getting the MSI 2 Electric Bungaloo, pretty much like the revenge of MSI. So I would like to ask of you, like, how do you see yourself preparing for this tournament? Like, how do you want to integrate this tournament into the schedule? Do you think it's gonna also impact how you're gonna prepare for the LEC summer playoffs as well?
I mean, we take this tournament in a way that the regular split for us is a preparation for this tournament because we basically travel right after the regular split ends. So all that you can see is by basically preparation for us for the tournament. Yeah. And I just hope we get the L.
Yeah, because I mean it's gonna be like a single elim bracket, right? So you probably like worst case you could only face one team, so that's definitely a bit difficult, I guess. But do you still like want to go into that tournament with the mindset of winning it all as well, by the way, or is it like more of a afterthought and your main focus like maybe on LEC season finals and stuff like that?
I think it's we are going in with the mindset to outside of Genji, being able to beat anyone, because we think Genji is at the top of the league right now, and we are not there yet. We need some more time, I guess, or we need more practice. But yeah, we're excited to meet anyone. Basically, even Genji, we would like to play against them again because it's really insane if you play the best players in the world and the best team. You just learn so much from the games itself.
I mean, you joined Fnatic in like March 2023, right? And since then, I mean, we've seen G2 mostly dominate the league for a long time now. So I would like to ask, like, how badly do you want to win the LEC now? Because obviously, like, it must be getting frustrating, right? That G2 is still always at the top, and you guys are still like working so hard to try and be there. So do you think like also that it's gonna be finally the split of Fnatic in summer this time?
I mean, we really want to win, right? But you also need to deserve it. And to be honest, G2 from the history and from the achievements that they have, they are just simply better team. It's just pretty hard because I think those people who are at G2, they are doing their jobs pretty well, right? And then I think if not, I still believe it. We had a bit worse practice, and you could see in the individual performance, even in the team performance, we were lacking a bit this week. But outside of that, if I say I think it's this split or never.
Otherwise, just finishing up, it's been a very interesting career for you as well because like you started in the ERLs, you were Freeze V2 back in the day, right, with your brother in the Czech league as well.
Oh geez.
Yeah, and then you went to Immortals, you did 2 years in the LCS as well, and now you're in the LEC coaching one of the best teams in Europe. So I would like to just ask, like, how do you see like your growth in terms of your own self, like as a coach and in your career, like getting to this point and now being at this level of like coaching teams that are probably going to Worlds as well this year? Like, does it feel a bit surreal for you as well sometimes to be at this level?
Not really. It's just job as always, every day from morning to the night, right? You're working hard. You're not really paying attention to anything else. And on my growth, I think, whoever looks back even 1 month, even half a year or a year back and doesn't say that he was completely boosted 1 year ago is doing something wrong, right? So I think I'm growing still pretty in a good pace. I must say that sometimes, I can feel that I'm focusing on certain topics that the team needs or something, and then I'm degrading or I'm lacking in certain other topics that I used to be very good at. So it's up and down, but hopefully just in the whole picture just up. Yeah.
By the way, do you keep in touch with your brother as well? Because I mean, he used to be like pro ADC in the LEC, right? And then like you kind of like took the mantle of being the pro of the family in a way a bit, I guess, because now he doesn't really do coaching anymore, I think. So do you also like talk to him still?
Yeah, we talk almost every day. I mean, to be honest, he is trying to talk, but I'm usually busy and I don't respond that well, and he's always kind of yeah, I mean, he's right in that regards. But yeah, we try to be in touch as much as possible, even though I have to say that now it's a bit harder.
Well, that is all the time we had today for the interview. So I would like to thank you very much in any case for taking your time to talk to us. And hopefully Fnatic will be able to bounce back next week and Smurf both at the EWC and in the playoffs.